Hi everyone, Jamie Vaughn here for CCM Magazine, and I am here with Jillian Edwards. And she is new to the Christian music scene, but she's been around for a while. You've heard her music on the TV shows Nashville, Grey's Anatomy, Pretty Little Liars, and she has the distinct pleasure of being the mom to Willow Faye and the wife of Will, and guess what, guys? Daughter-in-law of Stephen Curtis Chapman. So she comes by this naturally. I want everyone to know she's got a new album coming out in May called Meadow. Make sure you pre-buy this album. It is so good. Jillian, thank you so much for spending time today to talk to CCM.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited to be talking to you. Thank you for making the time for me.
Absolutely. I want you to know I listened to the album today. I had to stop myself from crying because I knew we had this interview right after. I felt like you wrote my heart and that you wrote what so many of us are going through today. I'd love to know your inspiration for the album.
Well, thank you, first of all, for listening through to the album. That is just, it's a crazy thing that I can write music and record it and it gets to your ears. So I'm honored that you would take a listen to it. I wrote these songs with a handful of people, different songs with different people, and but they all came out of this season of the last year where a lot of them came out of moments that were faith-shaking moments, where I just wanted to give language to those moments when circumstances are uncertain and, maybe there's confusion or anger or hurt or just questions about, why is this happening? What's going on? I can't control this. I wanted to give language to those moments of what might it look like to lean into God in those times. And, you can still have questions and you can still be very, very, very human and be so near to the heart of God. And so I just wanted to, make faith proclamations in faith shaking moments and really just sing truth to myself. And that's sort of my motto with writing songs is hopefully I can, if I sing the truth enough times, hopefully it'll sink into my heart and soul, and maybe I can learn it over and over and over again so that it sticks with me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think God gives us music a lot of times when we don't know what else to say. I think it's easier in those moments. And I think you hit the nail on the head with this album. I would love to hear the inspiration for the title track, Meadow. And if you would mind playing it for us, we'd love to hear it.
I would love to. Should I tell you about it and then play it?
Sure.
It then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm first of all just kind of a word nerd. I love meadow. I love the sound of meadow. I love the images that come to mind when I think of meadow, which is kind of a grassy, hilly area near a stream. It's kind of that Psalm 23 place. And when I think of that, it is this. The whole album is about this secret place of abundance that we have in Christ at all times, no matter the circumstances we face, no matter tragedy, sorrow, sickness, trials, temptations, disasters, anything that could possibly come our way. Or even if it's not, something crazy, even if it's complacency or just feeling stuck and not knowing what's going on or not knowing how to process something, no matter what is happening around us, we as children of God and as ones who abide in the shelter of his shadow and under his wing, we have that secret place of abundance. And to me, that secret place is the meadow. So it's not about life looking beautiful and perfect and peaceful all the time, but it's about the presence of God and how he is the source of peace and abundance and joy. And we actually have access to all of those things when we're facing the darkness and when we're facing the hardest things. So that is what is sort of the all-encompassing theme of this record. And I'd love to play it for you.
Please do.
Yes, thank you. Your love is a meadow I'm free to run around in. Barefoot on the soil, I'm feeling like a child again. What if there's nothing to be afraid of? I think you're closer than my blood. What if you're in the lines on my hands? I think your heart is beating in my chest. And I need only to breathe in your love. I can feel your kindness. It follows like the shadows on my feet. It's playful in its nature. It's never been a stranger to me. What if there's nothing to be afraid of? I think you're closer than my blood. And what if you're in the lines on my hands? I think your heart is beating in my chest. And I need only to breathe in your love. I get lost inside when I wander on my own. But you come and find me. You always find me. When I think I'm hidden from the goodness of your heart, you come and find me. And I'll always find there's nothing to ever be afraid of. I know you're closer than my blood. You're in the lines on my hands. I feel your heart beating in my chest. And I need only to breathe. I need only to breathe in your love. 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 I need only to breathe in your love.
So good. So good. You're welcome. So how do you balance all of this, being a mom and a wife and writer, and do you tour yet?
No touring yet. Okay. Well, obviously not right now in this crazy time, but not yet. So I have been writing and playing shows for several years, but over the last couple of years, I've really stayed off the road and just focused on writing, and mostly for TV and film. So it's been writing that's not necessarily, this is my heart and this is my, the depths of who I am, and this is just, the words that I have to get out of my system because I have to. It's been more like a muscle, like practicing a muscle of a different kind of writing, which has been so great for me. But during, the last couple of years when I've just been focusing on the writer side, songwriter side for commercials and things like that, I was pregnant and had our daughter, Willow Faye. And I think it was sort of the perfect storm of becoming a mother and having enough time of kind of being off the road and just focusing on, this sort of other outlet of songwriting that wasn't, it's life-giving in its own way, but it's not the same kind of life-giving as far as, this is my calling to connect with other people on specific things that I'm just dying to talk about, um, how loving our Father is. And
Mm-hmm.
so anywho,
Yeah.
I between sort of becoming a mother and, we're about 8 years into marriage now, and, kind of getting a taste of being home, I just felt this urgency of just, I've got to write. There's songs I have to write that are important to me. And so there's been a shift into this new season of, there is, going to be touring again in my life once this whole pandemic is over. And it's going to look different. But I'm not really answering your question in a roundabout way.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
To balance, you're asking, how do I balance it all? I feel so grateful that this album, Meadow, that's coming out in May, and we've been working towards it for a long time now. I feel so grateful and at peace that I really believe I made this record because God, I always say, he scooted me up into this calling where he's just made it so clear that these are the seeds I'm supposed to be planting, and at the right time, certain ones will grow and blossom into whatever his purposes say they'll grow and blossom into, and his purposes will be accomplished. And who am I to say what that looks like? So as far as balance, I wouldn't say I have a strategic balancing plan for being a mom and an artist and writer and wife and daughter and friend. As so much as I would say, I feel that my peace, any peace that I would get from balance, I have from just this overwhelming feeling of, this is not my rodeo. I'm not the one in charge. So I think God is really gracious to let things get busy with music whenever they get busy, and he will provide for my family when that time comes. Or, right now, my husband maybe could have been on tour. He's in a band and he stays really busy. And because of this pandemic, he's home right now, and has been home when he would have been on tour a lot longer. So right now my daughter is with him instead of with, a babysitter or something.
Yeah.
So there's lots of provision, I think, in mysterious ways coming from all of this.
I do understand that. I think you are an amazing lyricist. I love in the song Trusted, you write, if the storm doesn't blow over, if the clouds never part, this is where you can be trusted. And I think that so many of us have gone through moments in our lives that have been so hard that even though we don't understand, we hope that God uses that pain in a great way, and that one day we get to see that. And then I think sometimes we never feel like we're good enough either. And in your song, Heaven's Eyes, you wrote, speak over me, tell me again that I am someone that you love. I just love that line. I'd love to hear you sing that song for us.
I would love to sing it. And thank you for those kind words. I'm just, I am a person who is hungry for love, hungry for approval, validation, affirmation, however you want to say it. And this song is really my roadmap to, it's not the issue that I need love and I'm hungry for it. That's not the issue. The issue is, where do I go to get that need filled? Mm-hmm. So this Heaven's Eyes is my roadmap for, okay, let's embrace that hunger. And instead of going all these other places to get it satisfied, if I take it to my Heavenly Father, he actually loves giving validation, and he loves to tell me a million times how much he loves me, and he loves to overwhelm me with that feeling of delight. So this song helps me remember that it's his delight to make me feel loved. And it's okay that I desperately need to feel loved. He made me that way. So this is Heaven's Eyes. You hear the birds chirping.
I can. I didn't know if it was outside my window or yours because I can see them in front of a window right in front of me right here.
Standing under the waterfall of your approval, and I find that I don't need anything else or anyone else but you. Your mercy's a song that I know by heart, but I forget the words the moment I start to trust anything else or anyone else but you. Show me how to stay here, stay here, stay here. I'll just wait here, wait here. Speak over me, tell me again that I'm someone you love. Let it sink in, tell me a million times who I am in heaven's eyes. So I'm letting go of all other names that I gave myself when I heard you say, come and find yourself in heaven's eyes, heaven's eyes. So I wanna know, see what you see, past all the versions and layers of me. Nobody knows me like you. A child you chose before I took a breath. Every last detail like the back of your hand. Nobody knows me like you. Show me how to stay here, stay here, stay here. Speak over me, tell me again that I'm someone you love. Let it sink in, tell me a million times who I am in heaven's eyes. So I'm letting go of all other names that I gave myself when I heard you say, come and find yourself in heaven's eyes. I am always seen, I am always known, always understood. You call me your own. I am always seen, I am always known, always understood. You call me your own. Speak over me, tell me again that I'm someone you love. Let it sink in, tell me a million times who I am in your eyes. I'm letting go of all other names that I gave myself when I heard you say, come and find yourself in heaven's eyes, heaven's eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. It was so good. Jillian, thank you so much for stopping by, spending some time talking to us at CCM. And everybody, please make sure that you go and listen to this album when it comes out on May 15th and buy it. It is so good.